compensation package with Newcastle for Dan Ashworth to become the new Manchester United Director of Football immediately. Joshua Zirkzee and Manuel Ugarte deals expected this week. And apparently, Manchester United are trying to hijack the Michael Olise transfer. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this morning's show. But before we get into that, please smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 300 likes on today's show. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. We are live every single day at 8:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. And only 50% of people who watch these videos are subscribed. So if you're one of those people who isn't subscribed, please do go and get involved for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Okay, let's start the show off by talking about Michael Olise then, because this one caught me by surprise a little bit. I thought the race for Michael Olise was done. It looks like he was signing for Bayern Munich. And I'll be honest, I'd kind of moved on from Michael Olise. I didn't really think we actually needed him. I think, you know, there was lots of other positions in our squad that we really needed to fill. You know, the centre-back, the CDM, the striker. Like, Olise for me wasn't a priority. But I know some people in the fan base were really, really upset that Olise wasn't going to come to United. So this story is coming out from Florian Plettenberg, who is, of course, the German Sky Sports news journalist. And he reported late last night that apparently Manchester United are trying to hijack the deal. What does everybody think about that? Do people still want to see Michael Olise at Manchester United? Like, is he still the person that everybody really, really wants to go for? Let me know. I'll be honest, like I said a couple of days ago, I don't think us spending 50, 60 million pounds on Michael Olise is really a priority. Like, it doesn't make much sense to me. We've got Ahmad, Pellistri, Garnacho, Rashford. We've got Anthony. You've still got people like Sancho. You've got Greenwood. You've got 7 or 8 people who can play as a right winger. I don't really understand the point of having Michael Olise as well, but we'll see what happens. The one thing I will say is Ineos are definitely making moves at the moment. They are really, really going in, aren't they? We've already put a bid for Branthwaite in. We're already, you know, deep in talks with Joshua Zirkzee and Manuel Ugarte, and now we're trying to get Michael Olise. And the transfer window only opened about a week ago. So, it's a crazy, crazy time. People asking, this is a live video. Yeah, I'm live. I'm back. I'm back in my house now, so no more Airbnb videos. But yeah, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section. Would you still like to see Manchester United go for Michael Olise? We'll wait and see what happens with this one. My understanding is that apparently he wants to move to Bayern Munich. I guess for Champions League football, I think Bayern Munich are willing to pay him 250 grand a week, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest. Michael Olise is not worth 250 grand a week. He's probably worth about 100, 150 grand a week. But obviously Bayern Munich pay massive wages, don't they? So, I'll keep you updated on this one. But as it stands, as of at the point of recording this video, Manchester United are apparently trying to hijack the Michael Olise to Bayern Munich deal. So I'll obviously keep you updated on that one as and when we get more information. My final point on Michael Olise is, if we sold Pellistri, if we sold Sancho, if we sold Greenwood, if we sold Anthony, then great, go and get Michael Olise. But as it stands, I don't know what's going on with Pellistri. I've heard nothing about him leaving the club. Jadon Sancho, nobody seems to want to pay the money for. Mason Greenwood, again, nobody seems to want to pay the money for. And Anthony, nobody's definitely going to pay any money for him. So, yeah, in an ideal world, great. Sell 4 wingers and go and buy Michael Olise. But in reality, are Manchester United going to be able to sell people like Sancho, Greenwood, Pellistri, Anthony? No, probably not. They're going to struggle to do it. It will probably end up being loans, won't it? So, yeah. And as Josh says in the chat, you know, for the amount of money that Bayern Munich are going to invest in Olise, they're going to pay £60 million to Crystal Palace, and then they're going to give him 250 grand a week on a 5-year contract. I mean, that's about £15 million a season on a 5-year contract. So what's that? £75 million in wages, plus £60 million in transfer fee, plus agent fees. Like, at the very, very minimum, right? The Michael Olise to Bayern Munich deal is worth about £135 million. Like, that's crazy, isn't it? I'll do a little poll, though. Let's do a poll just to see what people are thinking. And anybody who's watching the video back on repeat, get in the comment section. Do you think Manchester United should hijack the Michael Elise video deal? Everyone who's just joined, if you could do me a small favour and smash a like. We've got over 250 people watching now, which is incredible. I've set a likes target of 300 likes for this morning's show. So if everybody who's watching the video gives it a like right now, we should hit that target in no time at all. And please do make sure you subscribe as well. We're only 2 subscribers away from 24,700. We're getting closer to the 25k, the next milestone. So if this is your first time watching, please do go and subscribe. I'm live every single day, so yeah, make sure you get involved here on Daily Red Devil. I'm just going to set up a poll really quickly whilst you guys go and like and subscribe. So the question's going to be this: should United hijack the Elise deal? 60 million fee plus 250k. Okay, cool. I've tried to put as much information in the question as possible so you have all the context. So the question is, should Manchester United hijack the Elise deal? £60 million fee plus 250k per week wages. So there you go. Get involved on that one. Okay, let's move on to Joshua Zirkzee then, shall we? Because I know a lot of people are very, very excited about this player. So this is coming out from a source in Bologna, obviously the club he plays for, a very, very reliable journalist who reports on pretty much exclusively on Bologna. And he is reporting this morning that apparently Joshua Zirkzee is now increasingly likely to join Manchester United. It says Joshua Zirkzee's departure from Bologna is now certain. He is ready to join Manchester United. An agreement between United and the player's agent has been reached on the commissions and wages, and the striker has been convinced about his role in the project. It says Erik ten Hag has spoke with Zirkzee directly to discuss his role and where he sees him to fit into the team. So this deal looks like it's going to happen. Obviously, the release clause becomes active from today. £33.8 million is how much it will cost to bring him to Manchester United. He's apparently been offered about 150k per week in wages, which I don't think is terrible. I think is probably fair. You know, when you think that Casemiro's on 350k a week, Rashford's on 350k a week, I don't think 150k a week is that unreasonable for Joshua Zirkzee. You know, he is still like an up-and-coming player, but he will be part of that first team. So yeah, 150k per week, I've got no issues with that whatsoever. You know, that doesn't concern me. And I'm really excited about this. I really, really am. I think he's going to be an absolutely incredible asset for Manchester United. He's going to offer us something very, very different to what Rasmus Højlund can offer. He's going to offer us something very different to what Rashford or Martial offered. So really, really excited about this one. And my understanding as well is that apparently these deals are expected to be concluded this week. Really, really big week for Manchester United. And the reason for that is because the first pre-season game of our tour starts 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today, I think we play, let me double check who it is, but apparently Manchester United want to sign at least 2 first-team players by the time that first game kicks off. So we play Rosenborg on Monday the 15th of July. So literally 2 weeks today. And then that same week we play Rangers on the Friday, and then a couple of days later we play Arsenal and then Real Betis. And then literally within 2 weeks, we will have a game every 3 or 4 days for pre-season, and then the season starts. So Manchester United need to get their ducks in order, and they need to really, really sign these players this week, because one of the massive things that really affected Manchester United last season was leaving signings till late, I think. So I've been told that apparently Man United's focus is to get as many players on that pre-season tour as possible. Obviously, Joshua Zirkzee is away on international duty at the moment with the Netherlands, and Ugarte is away with Uruguay. But I don't think that the Netherlands are going to get that much further, to be honest, in the Euros. But we'll wait and see what happens with that one. But Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United is a very, very hot deal. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that one as and when I get more news. And last night, Fabrizio Romano retweeted one of the ways to know when a deal is hotting up, right? Fabrizio Romano puts out a tweet a couple of days ago about Joshua Zirkzee and also about Manuel Ugarte. And then what he does is he retweets it with like an eyes emoji. And I know people are probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But if you follow transfer news like I do and you look at it all regularly, you can see the patterns of when a journalist gets information, they kind of start hinting things, and that's what Fabrizio's done in the last 24 hours. So, this deal will happen, I think, unless an absolute disaster happens. And then you have another person this morning saying that apparently Joshua Zirkzee is very much open to joining Manchester United. He has already spoken with Erik ten Hag personally on the phone, and he wants to be part of the project. So that's a positive, because I know there was some murmurs in the fan base that were saying, if he wants AC Milan, I don't want him, which I get. You want to be the first choice option, but you've got to remember AC Milan are playing Champions League football. AC Milan is in the country where he currently lives. Bologna is, I think, a very short drive away from AC Milan, so it probably would have been an easier transition for the player to go from Bologna to AC Milan, not had to relocate, not had to, all the rest of it. But that's irrelevant. We are going to sign Joshua Zirkzee. It's just a matter of when, not if. We've got over 400 people watching the show this morning, guys. This is a live video. I am back live. I am back from my holiday in Wales. Please smash a like on the video if you haven't already. I've set a likes target of 300 likes for today's video. So please make sure you go and do that right now. And also, please go and subscribe as well. We're only now 1 subscriber away from 24,700. I'm live every single day. It's completely free content. It doesn't cost you any money to subscribe. So please go and subscribe now. Let's try and hit 24,700 by the end of this video. We can definitely do that. Everyone who's not subscribed, go and do it, and we will easily achieve that. So, big ups to all of you. Okay, let's move on to Matthijs de Ligt then. So the news this morning about de Ligt, I know some people are upset about de Ligt. Some people think he's Harry Maguire 2.0. My opinion on de Ligt, before I give you the news, is that I think if we can get him for about £30 million, I think it will be a good signing. If he's going to cost us £60 million, I think it's a terrible signing. That's my take. He is a good player. He is better than Lindelof. He is better than Maguire. He is better than Johnny Evans. He is better than Willy Camboala. So he is an improvement on all of those players. But he's not worth, 50, 60 million. He's worth maybe 30, I think, tops, plus maybe some add-ons. And just so everyone kind of calms down a little bit, my understanding is that Manchester United are going to sign 2 centre-backs. The approach of Matthijs de Ligt is in addition to the approach of Jared Branthwaite. We're going to go for 2, not 1. So just think about it like that. You're getting, I don't want to say you're getting 2 for the price of 1, because you're still having to pay for both. But a lot of people thought we'd just get 1 centre-back. And I think a lot of people were getting really negative about, the prospect of us just signing Matthijs de Ligt and saying, oh, he's not very good, he's slow, and oh, he's another Maguire and all the rest of it. But if I said to you at the beginning of the summer that we'd have, say, Matthijs de Ligt and Jared Branthwaite and Martinez, and then you had, say, Johnny Evans and Maguire as your kind of backups, I think most people would be happy with that. But anyway, the news coming out from a Tier 1 Dutch journalist this morning, Mike Verweij, reports for The Telegraph in the Netherlands. He is reporting that Matthijs de Ligt has received a contract proposal from Manchester United to sign a 5-year contract. It says that an agreement between de Ligt and his agent is expected to be completed very soon. It says Erik ten Hag and de Ligt have already had multiple phone conversations, and de Ligt wants the move. Honestly, I think, like I said, if we can get him for about 30 million, I think it would be a really, really good signing. Obviously, I know there are question marks about him. I know people say he's got a bad injury record. People will say he flopped at Juventus. He's now flopped at, at Bayern Munich. But sometimes a player doesn't just lose their form. Players can dip in form, can't they? But you don't just lose your quality overnight. We saw how good he was for Ajax when Erik ten Hag was the manager. And you just have to hope that if we can get him for a cut price deal, £30 million, say, that we can bring him in and Erik ten Hag can, bring him back to the level that he was. And I believe Erik ten Hag can do that, because I believe Erik ten Hag's a good coach. I believe that, if he's worked well under Erik ten Hag before, why can't he work well under Erik ten Hag again? And I think there's a real opportunity here. I know there's a risk. I know he might come in. It might be terrible. Okay, I get that. But there is definitely an opportunity here. Okay, let's move on to Dan Ashworth then quickly, shall we? Because that is the big breaking news that everybody is going to want to know about this morning. And it's some positive news. Some really, really positive news to start this Monday. So this is coming out from David Ornstein, and it's coming out from Fabrizio Romano. And the headline is this: Manchester United have agreed a deal with Newcastle to appoint Dan Ashworth as sporting director. It says the move was originally delayed because of the two clubs struggling to compromise on a compensation package, but apparently the deal has now been sanctioned and Dan Ashworth is expected to start work immediately. If that doesn't bring a smile on your face, then I don't know what to say to you, to be honest. Like, we've literally been told all summer that he wasn't going to start until next year. Okay? It's taken 4 months to get to this point. 4 months of arguing with Newcastle, them asking for 20 million, them asking for this, them asking for that. But Dan Ashworth will start his work this week. I honestly could not be happier about that. Fabrizio Romano, for those of you who are saying, oh, is this lies? Where are you getting this from? So that was coming out from David Ornstein, The Athletic. Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United set to sign all documents for Dan Ashworth to be announced as sporting director. Compensation package has now been agreed with Newcastle. It is all done. Ashworth will start work immediately, working closely alongside Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox. Mic drop. What more could we ask for on this Monday morning, really? Amazing. Like, literally yesterday, the expectation was that he wasn't going to start for another 8 months, because that was how long his gardening leave period was. And we wake up today and Ineos again have done a madness. Ineos have gone and got the deal done. They've agreed a compensation package. Now, we don't know how much this compensation package is, to be fair. So I don't want to get too excited. If it comes out that we've paid them 30 million or something, then that's going to cause question marks. But my understanding is it isn't going to be that much, because Man United were saying, you're having a laugh. We're not giving you 30 million, we're going to give you a couple of million, take it or leave it. So I would be very surprised. I would be very surprised if we've given them more than, say, 5 million. But obviously, as soon as I get the exact figure, I will bring that to you. But I think having an actual proper director of football for the first time in probably the last decade is going to be such a big improvement. Honestly, the difference will be massive. And I think it will now allow us to start pushing some of these players out of the club, because Dan Ashworth will come in and he'll say, okay, Lindelof, Maguire, who else? I don't know. There's so many players who need to go. He'll look at the squad and say, right, these people aren't part of my project. Goodbye. Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Maguire, Lindelof, Amrabat, Wan-Bissaka probably. And we should see a load of these people now leaving. Whereas I think if Dan Ashworth wasn't here, there would always be this kind of narrative that they'd say, oh, we're waiting for Dan Ashworth to start. We're not going to make any big decisions until Dan Ashworth starts, etc., etc. So this could not be a more positive news story to bring you this morning, that, effectively, Joshua Zirkzee deal is looking very, very likely to be concluded this week. Dan Ashworth is now appointed as the director of football. We should probably get an announcement today, I reckon, from the club itself. It's been announced by the top journalist, but we should get an announcement from the club side later on today, I imagine. So yeah, I couldn't be happier about this. I really, really couldn't. All of the names that we're linked to so far, I feel really positive about. Zirkzee, Manuel Ugarte, Matthijs de Ligt plus another centre-back, I think sounds great. And I have some more positive news for you guys this morning. It feels like probably the most positive news show I've done so far in this transfer window. There's just so much good stuff to report about today, which is really, really great. We've got over 500 people watching as well this morning, guys, which is amazing. Please give the video a thumbs up. We've got a likes target of 300 likes. We're about halfway there. So if everybody who's watching it now likes the video, we will easily achieve that. So please go and do that right now. And do subscribe as well. We're still 1 subscriber away from 24,700. So there must be some people watching today who aren't subscribed. Help us get to that next milestone. 24,700 is the target. We're only 1 subscriber away. Go and like the video. Go and subscribe right now. It is a positive show. Okay, Todibo. More exciting news about Todibo. And apparently, so I brought you the news a couple of days ago that Ineos have employed some of the best lawyers in world football to argue the case for the Todibo transfer Let me start again. Manchester United have employed some of the best lawyers in the world to argue the case with UEFA that Jean-Claire Todibo should be allowed to join Manchester United, okay? And apparently, they found a loophole. this is what's been reported this morning by a very reliable journalist. They're effectively going to turn I think they're going to put Nice into a trust. It's all a bit complicated. It's all legal stuff. So I'll try and simplify it for you, okay? At the moment, Ineos own Manchester United. Ineos own Nice, yeah? Ineos are going to put the ownership of Nice into a trust. So they won't technically own Nice anymore. A trust will own Nice. But the trust is owned by Nice. Does that make sense? It's just a stupid loophole. But effectively, in the rules, that will then allow them to sell Todibo to Manchester United. So I actually think this deal will happen. I think that they'd already done all of the groundwork for this deal. Todibo wanted to come to Manchester United. He was the number one target. So yeah, I think it's one to keep an eye on. And if I was going to bet, I would say that our two new centre-backs will end up being Jean-Claire Todibo and Matthijs de Ligt. I think we'll go for those two. I think Jared Branthwaite's going to cost way too much money. Because if you look at it in reality, right, we could probably sign Matthijs de Ligt and Jean-Claire Todibo for the same price as... As the same price as Jean-Claire... We can probably sign Jean-Claire Todibo and Matthijs de Ligt for the same price as what Jared Branthwaite would be sold for. So, yeah, it's another one to keep an eye on. As soon as I get more news on that, I will, of course, bring it to you. But, yeah, Manchester United are trying every possible option they can to bring Jean-Claire Todibo to Manchester United this summer. There is always a way around these types of things. This is completely legal, by the way. They're not going to, they're not going to get prosecuted or have fines or anything. It's a legal loophole. And other clubs have done it in the past. So if you want to read more about it, you can go and have a look yourself. But effectively, Ineos would put Nice into a trust for one season, which allows them to then sell him to us. Big ups to Fred, who's just gifted 5 memberships to the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Thank you very much for your support, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Everybody who's just been gifted a membership, please do make sure to say thank you to Fred in the chat. If you do want to get a membership, make sure you watch the videos live because, sometimes memberships are given out. We're live every day at 8:30 a.m. and at 6 p.m. UK time as well. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. So then that's the easiest way to know when we're live. If you hit the notification bell, you should get a notification from YouTube saying that we're live. And then obviously you can get involved in the chat. We all have a good conversation. Make sure you go and do that. Okay. We've still got a little bit more to cover on the show this morning, guys. There's lots and lots going on. Let's move on to Dan Ashworth. We spoke about Dan Ashworth. Let's talk about Manuel Ugarte then. So, again, my understanding is that apparently Manchester United are expecting the deal for Manuel Ugarte to be concluded this week. Fabrizio Romano, again, put out a tweet last night and then retweeted it with an eyes emoji. So the news that Fabrizio put out was that Manchester United and PSG have been in touch again in recent hours for Manuel Ugarte. It says Ugarte has interest from other clubs. PSG are open to selling him this summer, and he is now expected to leave. It says he'd be open to joining Manchester United even without Champions League football. Okay, that's great. And then you've got Florian Plettenberg, who is, of course, the Sky Sports journalist, saying that he understands that Manuel Ugarte is now a serious transfer target for Manchester United. He says that talks have taken place and Ugarte can leave PSG this summer. Manchester United want to strengthen their midfield, etc., etc. He says there is also rumours about Ugarte to Bayern Munich, but currently he's not a player of interest. So at the moment, we've got a pretty clear run to get Manuel Ugarte. He wants to come to the club. He wants to join the club. He wants to effectively be a first-team player because at the moment he's not. He's a bench warmer, which is a little bit upsetting for somebody of his quality. And then so Fabrizio Romano then retweeted his same tweet last night with an eyes emoji. And for anybody who doesn't know what that means, it usually means that he's found out some more information or that the deal's progressed, but he's not yet able to put it out on social media. So I honestly think that we will see here we go for Zirkzee and Manuel Ugarte this week, to be honest. I would be very surprised if that doesn't happen. But obviously, as soon as that does happen, I will let you guys know. I will go live. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to, kind of stay up to date with all of the latest news and stuff. I think that's everything I've got covered for the show this morning. Let me just double check if there's anything else I've missed out on quickly. Obviously, the new Man United kit's been launched today for anybody who cares about that. I'll put up a picture of it on the community section of our YouTube channel. So if you want to go and have a look at the new kit, I will put up a picture in a minute. Yeah, that's everything. I'll be back live at lunchtime to give you an update on everything, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock. And also I'll be live at 6 o'clock. Make sure you like the video before you leave, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll be back at lunchtime, and then I will also be back at 6 p.m. as well. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Speak to you a little bit later.